Okay, welcome to your practice today. Finding a comfortable seat for yourself. So you are welcome to start seated or lying down, sitting in a chair, however you're going to be the most comfortable at this point in your day. And then you're just going to close your eyes and see if you can tune in to this feeling of slowing down. Okay, so becoming present. So the feeling of sort of landing in the moment that you're in. You might feel the ground that's underneath you. The parts of your body that are resting on a chair or on the floor. You can let go of tension from your body and invite in a sense of ease or spaciousness. Notice your breath. And just be where you are with how you are. And then let your awareness come back to breath. And just allow your breath to slow down and to gently deepen. So take your time. We're not breathing with any more effort. If anything, there's maybe a softening through the abdomen so that the breath can flow down into the belly. So we slow down the breath and the breath can lengthen. So as you work with this breath that's a little bit longer, a little bit slower, can you notice the parts of the breath? So each cycle of breath has an inhale, and then there's a pause. And then after the pause, there's the exhale. And then at the bottom of that exhale, there's this other little pause. And those pauses might be very short, they might be very subtle, but there are these moments where the breath is still in between the movement of the inhale and the movement of the exhale. So just play for the next few rounds with noticing the in-breath and then that pause, that moment of stillness. And then that exhale, taking your time to let go of all of your breath. And then at the bottom of the exhale, there's that other moment where the breath is still. That pause. And it's not that the pauses are moments where we're holding. Right? There doesn't need to be a contraction. There doesn't need to be a bracing. There's just sort of this natural pause, this natural moment of quiet or stillness. As the inhale becomes the exhale, or as the exhale becomes the inhale. Just let that come to a natural completion. So we're going to come back to breath again as we come into our postures today. So to start our postures today, we're coming onto our back. Okay, so you can come on down to the floor on your back. And your legs can come in with you. Okay, and just give those legs a hug again. Your hands can rest just below your knees, on your shins. And with the thigh bones coming towards you, can you just rock gently from side to side? And try to feel where your body is touching the floor. All those contact points of your back and your lower back against the ground. And then you're going to let the thighs move a little bit away from you. You can still hold on to the knees with the hands. The arms are a bit straighter now. So now you've got more of the back of the pelvis on the floor. And just rocking from side to side, feeling that. So feeling as you roll over towards one side of the pelvis. And then feeling as you move the opposite way. Come on back to the middle. Keep your right leg so let your left foot come down to the floor. Okay, just give your right leg a gentle hug in. So relax your shoulders and your back and your hips. Giving that right leg a hug in. Okay, and then slide your hands behind your right thigh and move the foot a little bit away from the sitting bones. You're just come into the right ankle. So just circle out the right ankle. Okay, move the foot the opposite direction. Okay, you can move the top of the foot towards you and away from you. Trying to keep your toes relaxed as you just move back and forth. So you're moving at your ankle. Okay, and then just let the ankle and the foot relax. We're going to come up into the knee. So you can keep your hands behind your right leg, or you can remove them if they're not helpful for you. So the hip is going to stay where it is. You're going to bend the knee. So the right knee is going to bend, the heel is going to drop down, and then take the foot up towards the ceiling. So you're working to straighten out the right leg. So bend the knee, and then straightening out. So reach through the heel, okay, bend the knee, and then reach up. Okay, just feel that. Your gentle work through the front of the thigh. One more time, let the knee bend, and then let the leg go straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, from here, you're going to do your best to keep your leg as straight as you can. You might have a bit of a bend in the knee. You're going to point the toes towards the ceiling, and you're going to create a circle with your leg, as if you are tracing on the ceiling a circle the size of a baseball with your big toe. Okay, so just this sort of little circle on the ceiling. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. You've got some stability coming from the core of you. Okay, let your circle move the other way. Okay, let the leg come back to the neutral place. Draw the top of the foot towards you. Reach up and hold behind the leg. And then let the thigh bone come a little bit closer in if it can. Okay, so you might be working on either of those parts. You might be working on the straightening the knee part, or you might be bringing on the part where you're bringing the thigh closer towards you. So there's this lengthening, this stretch of the back of the right leg. Okay, let that right foot come down to the floor. And then pick the left leg up. So you can give the left leg a hug in. Relax the belly, relax the hip. You can slide the hands behind the thigh if that's helpful for you. And you're going to circle out the left foot. So you're moving at the ankle. Feel how smooth it feels, if it's clicking. Okay, let your circles go the other direction. And then move the top of the foot towards your shin. And then move the top of the foot away from your shin. So your toes are relaxed. So the top of the foot comes towards you and then away from you. So can you feel, you might be able to see that it's your ankle that the movement is coming from. Okay, and then you can relax the foot and the ankle. We're going to come up into the knee. So the thigh bone is going to stay still. The hip is still. You're going to let the heel drop towards your sitting bone and then take the left foot up to the ceiling. So you're bending the left knee as far as you can bend it, and then you're straightening it as much as you can straighten it. Okay, so just bending and straightening. So range of movement as the leg comes up to where it's straight. There's this strengthening, so you sort of squeeze all around the knee. One more time, drop the heel and then reach the foot up. Okay, try to get the leg as straight as you can. And then relax a bit. So the thigh can move a little bit away, the knee can bend. You can move the top of the foot away from your shin so your toes are relaxed but pointing towards the ceiling. Then you're going to circle. You're creating the size of a baseball, tracing it on the ceiling, the big toe. So the leg bone, thigh bone is moving in your hip socket in a circle. Go the other way. Okay, relax the movement. Draw the top of the foot back towards you. Now you could move the thigh bone towards you. You could hold behind the thigh. You can work on straightening the knee. There's just a little bit more length you're looking for from the back of that left leg. All right, let that left foot come back down to the floor. So you got both feet on the floor. Okay, we're going to come up into half bridge next. So you have your feet on the ground. There's some space between them. Your upper arms are on the floor next to your rib cage. You can have your arms flat down to the floor with your palms down, or you can have your forearms up and your fingers facing the ceiling. Okay, you're going to push into the feet, and you let your pelvis come up off the floor. So you're lifting yourself up here as high as you can, as high as is comfortable for you. And then you're going to lower yourself back down. So the pelvis can come back down to the ground. Okay, so go at a pace that works for you. And see if you can link the movement to your breath. So that as you're coming down, you're letting your breath out. And then as you're moving back up, you're inhaling. You inhale and lift, and you exhale and lower. So take your time with the movement so that you have time for the breath. And you can also sort of notice that pause, right? That pause after the inhale when you've lifted up. And the exhale and lowering down, and then there's this other pause. Okay, do two more. Okay, so coming down to relax. Your back and your pelvis on the floor. If it's comfortable, you can just let your knees rest together there. So you might need to take your feet a little wider apart. Okay, just to let the back relax and the pelvis relax and the legs relax. Now let your arms come wide. See if you can have your palms facing the ceiling. So they might be closer into your body. You might be able to have them further away from your body. Just let your shoulders relax. And then we're going to let the arms come up. Okay, so you're going to lift your arms up off of the floor. You're going to turn your arms so that your palms are facing the same way that your feet are facing, down the short end of your mat. And you can make L's with your fingers and your thumbs, so the tips of your thumbs can touch together. Okay, so your fingers are up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to lift the fingers higher towards the ceiling, so your shoulders lift up off the floor. And then you're going to let your shoulders come down to the floor. So you're going to lift up and lower down. So the elbows stay straight. So the movement is coming from the shoulder. So this little lift up and this little dropping down. Okay, so sometimes we can forget the dropping down piece. So don't forget to sort of do that letting go as much as you can. Okay, not too much effort through the jaw or the neck or the chest. Just keep those spaces soft and feel like the movement is the shoulders. Take breaks when you need to. Okay, so what's happening here is the shoulder blades are moving away from the spine when you lift the fingers towards the sky. And then when you drop down, the blades are moving a little bit closer towards the spine. So we're freeing up the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Okay, come up one last time. And then come on back down, and then let the arms fall back down to the floor, the palms facing up if that's comfortable. Okay, and just feel what that feels like. So just breathe and notice. Okay, see if you can take a nice full deep breath in. And let it all out. Okay, bring the arms in. We're going to roll over to our side. And then from your side, you can come on up. So you can push the top hand into the floor and shift yourself up to vertical. All right, from here, we're coming up onto all fours. So come on up into table pose. So hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Okay, our neutral spine. So our pelvis is neutral, our spine is neutral. We come to our cat and cow, so you can tuck your tail and round your back up towards the ceiling like a Halloween cat. And then you can roll the pelvis the opposite way, so the belly gently drops. The chin can lift gently if it's comfortable, but the front of the body gets some length. So go back and forth between your cat, rounding up to the ceiling, and your cow, and see if you can move with your breath. So your cow pose when the belly is dropping down is your inhale. And your cat pose when your tail is tucked and you're rounding up to the ceiling is your exhale. So linking your movement and your breath. Letting go of all of your breath. That will give you room for a deeper inhale. Okay, finish on your next cat pose. So you're going to finish with your exhale, rounding you up. And then come back to neutral, breathe. Okay, from here we're going to step forward with the right foot and come into a lunge. Okay, so you can help the right leg come up to the top of your mat. Now you're welcome here to use blocks if you want to. So blocks underneath your hands can help you come up a little higher. Okay, you can also have your hands down on the floor. So you've got your left knee on the floor, your right foot forward. So just take a moment there and lengthen out your back. So your gaze isn't right down, it's a little bit in front of you on the floor. Okay, and then from your lunge, you're going to come back to half pyramid. So you're going to let the pelvis move back and the right leg straighten out. So if you like the blocks, bring them with you. So your hands are still under your shoulders. If you need less forward fold here or less in your back, you just come up a little higher. Okay, but if the folding forward is comfortable, you're welcome to fold over that right leg. Okay, so we're going to put those two together. So you're going to inhale into your lunge. So right foot flat, right knee bends, heart comes forward. And then exhale to your half pyramid. So the seat goes back, the arms walk back, and the right leg becomes a bit straighter. Okay, so inhale, rocking forward. And exhale, moving backward. So go a couple of times at your own pace. We're going to come forward into the lunge and stay in the lunge. Breathe. Okay, and we're going to add a turn. So your left hand can stay on the floor or a block, right hand to the right leg, and then turn towards the right. Okay, you can keep the right hand on the right leg, or you could reach it up if you like. Okay, unwind your turn. We're going to come back to table pose. Okay, you're going to come onto your knees, so kneel. So you have both knees down there on the floor. Okay, let the right hand come to the hip and the left hand come up to the ceiling, and then gently tip to the right. So your left side's a little longer than your right side, creating more space for breath. Okay, come on back up, and then switching sides. So left hand can drop to the hip, right hand can come up and over, and tipping left. Okay, come on back to vertical, come back down to table pose. Okay, so from here, left foot is going to take a step forward into your lunge. Okay, you can put blocks under your hands if you like. You could put padding under your right knee if you like. Okay, so sink forward, feel like you're lengthening the spine. And then you're going to take the seat back. So the left leg becomes straighter, the hands walk back with you, blocks if you like. Your left foot, the sole of it can come up off the floor with the heel staying down, or you might keep the left foot flat. Just depends on how far you're comfortable shifting back. Okay, making the movement and the breath. So you're going to inhale into your lunge. So let the left foot come flat and the knee stack on top of the ankle and the upper body come forward. And then exhale yourself back to your half pyramid. So the seat goes back and the left leg straightens. Inhaling forward and exhaling backward. Okay, do a couple more. Next time you're in your lunge, stay forward, right hand to the floor or a block, left hand to your left leg, and then turning to the left. So you could lift the left hand up to the ceiling, you can also leave it resting on the left thigh. And you're choosing the direction that your head is facing here. So you could look down at the floor, you could be just looking to the side, you could also look up to the ceiling. Have your neck in a position that's comfortable. Okay, come back to table. So left hand's going to come down, the weight can shift back, and then the left knee can tuck back. Okay, and then just come down to child's pose. So knees a little wider if you like, dropping your seat back, and then folding yourself forward. Support your head. Just take a moment there and feel your breath. Feel where your breath goes. Can it go into the belly? feel the breath in your ribs? Can you feel the breath moving your ribs? The inhale expands. And when we exhale, there's this sort of natural retraction back to neutral. So just notice. You're not trying to make anything happen. You're just allowing there to be space for these parts of you to move. Okay, so when you're ready, make your way up into table pose. And then from table pose, we're going to come back and we're going to come into downward dog. Okay, so we're going to curl the toes under and we're going to lift the knees up and push back. So you want your feet at least hip width apart. They can also be a little bit wider. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. You're pressing your heels towards the floor and sort of your heart towards your legs. You just let the head hang. Okay, from here, we're going to step to a forward fold. So you can take a foot and walk it forward, and then the other one can step forward so your feet end up underneath you. All your weight comes into your feet. Your knees are bent. Okay, and then from here, we're going to come up. So your hands can come up onto your thighs. Keep your knees bent as you come on up to standing. All right, so up at standing. Take a moment and just find yourself in your mountain pose in Tadasana. So take a look down at your feet. Your thigh bones are just sitting neutrally in your hip sockets. Your feet sort of more or less parallel to each other. And then you can just bring your head back so that you're more neutral. Okay, feel all the way down there to the soles of your feet. Okay, so what does it feel like to stand and to breathe? So can you be aware of your breath here? The inhale, maybe there's a pause, the exhale, another pause. You're not changing your breath, you're just noticing it. Okay. So what we're going to work with next is into the shoulders and into the neck. So you could do this seated in a chair if you wanted to. First come down to the hands though and make fists. So squeeze your hands tight. So you can curl your fingers in and your thumbs in and just make fists. And just feel what that feels like in your hands and up through the forearms and up through the upper arms and maybe up into the shoulders and up into the back maybe. And what have you done with your breath? All right, let the arms and the hands relax and give them a shake. Okay, take the right arm and hug it across you. So your left hand is up in between the elbow and shoulder. The shoulders are both dropping. You just brought the right arm across. Okay, every once in a while as we move through this, you're going to check into your feet and you're going to practice being in your legs. And you're going to notice your breath. Just these little things to check in with. So from here, try bending your right elbow so your fingertips point up towards the ceiling. So you could stay here. If you've got some space, you could bring the left arm underneath the right. So you've got the right elbow in the crook of the left arm, backs of the hands together or palms together, or you've got your hands on opposite shoulders. Okay, so the more gentle ones are hands on opposite shoulders, or just the right arm, right forearm up in front, and the left one still hugging that right arm in. Okay, so take a moment and just feel your breath. Try to let your shoulders relax. See if you can feel the space that you're creating through the upper part of the back, so shoulder blades have slid away from the spine. Let this go. Your right elbow is going to come up, so your left hand can take your right elbow. And just shift that right arm up. Okay, so nestle in your neck so it's comfortable. Okay, and a really gentle, if you like, tip to the left. Just feel that the right side can just get a little bit longer than the left side. Okay, notice your feet. You're in your legs. Notice your breath. Okay, come on back up. Okay, you can let the arms go. And you can roll out the right shoulder for a moment. Okay, so that right shoulder comes up and back and down. Okay, now take the right arm long, just lift it free of your body, roll it so the palm faces backwards, and then move the right arm back. Okay, and then from there, if you can, you could bend the elbow and you can tuck the hand back behind you. So that arm does not have to come up really high behind you. Maybe it's just sort of resting down sort of towards your backside, and maybe it's just resting beside you. Okay, so a comfortable place for this right arm to be, where it is actually resting behind your back. Okay, let your head tip to the left. Okay, so soften your eyes, relax your jaw. You might let the head turn here towards the left shoulder so the chin is tucking down if you like. Right, so what's the feeling in the right side of the neck, the right side of the chest, into that right shoulder? What are you noticing? Okay, bring your head one step at a time back up, so ear towards shoulder, head back to neutral. Let the right arm go. You can give it a shake out. Okay, and then come back to those fists. Okay, so squeeze the right hand, squeeze the left hand, feel the difference. Okay, so feel the difference in the fist, in the arms, up into the shoulders, into the body, just what you notice. So squeeze. Okay, let the hands go. You can give them a shake. Okay, and then we're going to come over to the left arm. So give the left arm a hug over. So drop the shoulders. Okay, feel yourself in your feet, so your feet on the floor. Your breath is moving in and out. It's a nice opportunity to just slow the breath down. Okay, you can let the left elbow bend so the fingers point up towards the ceiling. Okay, so you're welcome to stay here. If you can, you could bring the right arm under the left, so the left elbow is in the crook of the right arm. Maybe the backs of the hands together. Maybe the palms come together. Maybe you just like this version where your hands are on opposite shoulders, so you're sort of giving yourself a hug. Okay, shoulders are dropping. You don't really need to squeeze the chest or squeeze the arms. Just see if the shape of the posture, the geometry of the posture can create some space or let you feel something a little different. Okay, what's your breath doing? Okay, when you're ready, unwind the arms, left elbow up, right hand gets that left elbow. So you're just supporting this right arm up, or this left arm rather, up above your head. Okay, let your weight be moving down. If you like, you're tipping right. Okay, feel the space between the ribs on your left side. Feel the space between the ribs and the pelvis on the left side. Okay, come on back to vertical. You can let the arms come down. Okay, we're going to roll out the left shoulder. So there's an up, then a back, and a down. Okay, so let that left arm get a little bit more relaxed. Then let it just lift off the body so it's free of your body. Roll it so the palm faces backwards. Just gently move the arm back. Okay, and then be curious about what you can do. Can you bend the elbow and can the hand rest easy behind you? Does it want to just stay at the hip? Does it want to hang beside you? Where can that left arm be relaxed? And where can it just be? Okay, and then if you're comfortable, you're adding the neck. So tip the right ear towards the right shoulder. Okay, let your knees soften out so there's a suppleness in the legs. Let your breath keep moving. You can also turn the head here towards that right shoulder, so you're sort of tucking to the right. Unwind the head, so the ear to the shoulder, and then the head back up. Free the left arm. Okay, make those fists again, and just feel just notice what you notice. So what is the feeling in the hands or the arms or the shoulders or somewhere else in your body? What is the feeling of strength there? Maybe there's more strength, less tension. Maybe it just feels like it's connected a little bit differently. Okay, let the hands go. Give everything a shake out. All right, right foot's gonna stay. You're gonna take a step back with your left foot. So we're just stepping into a gentle pyramid pose here. So feet on separate railway tracks, toes all still pointing forward if you can. Hands can come to your hips, or you can interlace your fingers gently behind your back. Okay, now from here, can you just sort of let your weight fall back a little bit into that back leg? You can stay tall. You could also come to a gentle back bend, where the front of the body has just become a little bit longer than the back of the body. Okay, so listen to your breath. Breath is a really good indicator of when we're working too hard. Right? It should be easy to breathe in our postures. Okay, from here, back to vertical. Now keep your back straight, but move your pelvis forward. Just tip forward a little bit. Okay, so what we've done is we've come from vertical and we've rolled the pelvis forward. So we haven't rounded the back. We've just tipped forward from the hips. Okay, you can let your hands go. They can come to the pelvis. And then we're going to rotate to the right. So the left hand could come to the right leg or over towards the right hip. The right hand can stay at the hip. Okay, if you'd rather do the turn from vertical, then that's fine. You can just stay vertical and you can just gently turn to the right. Okay, so you're either tall and turned or tipped and turned. Either way, your back is straight. Okay, unwind your turn. Come on back to vertical. Okay, so we have a little piece of balance next. So if you need to move off your mat closer to a wall or a chair, you can. Okay, the right foot's going to be the standing foot. And we're going to let our weight shift into the right foot. So you can peel the left foot up. Then you're going to lift the left foot up. So the left leg is back behind you. So you can stay right there. Okay, you could also tip forward, lifting that leg up. Okay, so try that again. So come back to vertical. You can let the left toe touch the floor if you like. Okay. You lift the left foot off the floor behind you. And then you move forward with your pelvis. So again, your back isn't bending. You're moving from the hip, left leg lifting. Okay. Come on back to vertical. And then when you get back to vertical, you're going to come into tree pose. So you're going to take that left leg and you're going to roll it open. So you can have your left big toe on the floor, or you can have the bottom of that left foot up on the inside of the right leg. Your arms go wherever they need to go. Okay, think of that right leg, your standing leg, as this supple, supportive structure. So we're not braced on it, the knee isn't locked, we're letting gravity move through it, we're letting support come back through it. So it's this supple, responsive force for us. Okay, let that left foot rather come down for a moment. So just step yourself into mountain pose, give your right leg a break. Okay. We're going to stand again in the right leg, cross left shin over right shin. So left big toe on the floor. Okay, see if you can drop your right arm. And bring your left hand up to your left shoulder, so palms are facing forward. Okay, breathe. Okay, you can stay here. You want one that's a little bit more challenging. Maybe your arms come wider. You're going to slide that left shin up the right leg. And then you're gonna bend the right knee and hinge at the right hip. So you're sinking into the right leg. So let your arms do what they want to do to help you. Okay, rise back up. Come back to mountain pose, so both feet back on the floor. Okay. Shake out what needs to be shaken out. All right, left foot stays. Right foot takes a step back behind you. It can just be a little tiny step. It can be a gentle, bigger step. Feet on separate railway tracks. All your toes trying to point forward. Okay, hands to your hips or interlace your fingers gently behind your back. So just in a place where those shoulders can relax. So you don't need to pull them back. Just let them rest. Okay, now just let your weight shift a little bit into this right leg, into the back leg. If you're comfortable, that could become a little bit more of a back bend. It doesn't have to. You can just play with this weight shifted back into the right leg. So from here, we came to our twist. So if you're in a back bend, come back to vertical. Let your hands come to your hips so they're on your pelvis. Okay, if you're coming to the tip forward, you move your pelvis forward, your back stays straight, just a little tip forward, maybe 20 degrees. Okay, and then you turn to the left. Your right hand can come over somewhere onto this left side. Okay, if you've stayed vertical, then you're just turning the heart towards the left. Okay, you might bring the right hand over if you like. Are you breathing? Okay, unwind your turn, come back to vertical. So here's where we stepped into balance again. So shift yourself if you need to. Your left foot is your standing foot. You're going to shift your weight forward into the left foot, peel the right foot up, and then lift the right leg up off the ground. Okay, so you can stay there. Or you can tip forward, lifting the right leg up behind you. So maybe your arms are wide here. Okay, come on back up. Just let the right big toe touch the floor for a moment, just to take a break from it. We're going to do it one more time. Okay, so your arms can come wide. You can lift the right leg up, and then you can tip forward. This is Warrior 3 or airplane pose. Okay, from here, back to vertical, and then when you're ready, tree pose. So roll the right leg open. So the right big toe can be on the floor, the heel can be on the inside of the left leg, or maybe the right foot is up higher. Okay, so generally speaking, arms wide tends to help us more. Arms up higher is a little bit more challenging. So just play with where those arms want to go. And breathe. We sometimes think that holding our breath gives us more stability, and it actually takes away the stability. So keep your breath moving. And if you can't keep your breath moving, make it a bit more gentle. Okay, step the right foot back to the floor. So just step your feet out for a moment. Okay, we're going to come back into the left foot, cross right shin over left shin, so right big toe is on the floor. Right arm always hangs beside you here, left hand always at the left shoulder, palms facing forward. Okay, make sure the left knee isn't locked. You can feel the sole of the left foot in contact with your mat. Relax the parts of you you're not using. And you can stay here if you want that figure 4 posture, maybe arms a little wider, slide the right shin up above the left knee, and then you're sinking into the left leg. So the left leg sort of looks like it's in a squat. You've hinged at your hip and at your knee. All right, come on back to vertical. Let the right foot come down. Okay, so from here, you're gonna step up to the top of your mat and then step your left foot backwards and then turn. So you're facing the long edge of your mat. Okay. And at that long edge of your mat, you're going to turn your thigh bones out a little bit. So your knees and your toes are angled out gently. So you get to pick how wide the feet are. So they can be a little bit more narrow, or they can be a little bit wider apart. Okay. We're going to come to a squat. So you're going to hinge at your hips and you're going to bend your knees. You're going to sink your seat down, so straight down towards the floor. Okay, let your arms go for a minute. So you're letting your thighs go wide. Okay, so your knees are trying to go over your toes. Okay, and just no arms yet. So let the arms be what we add on after. Push into your feet and come on back up, just nice and slow. Okay. And then we'll sink back down. Okay, arms can come up this time, and then so they're wide, and then we bend the elbows, just so that those elbows decrease. Okay, and if you don't want to use the arms, if you just want to let them rest back down, you can. Okay, push down and come up, let the arms go. Okay, we'll do one more, and we'll add a little bit more. So sink down. Okay, right hand to the right leg, left hand up, and you're going to tip to the right. Okay, so if you don't want to be doing the legs, if that's feeling like too much, you've just got straighter legs. Okay, so you're just in a side bend over to that right side. Okay, come on back to vertical. Come on up. And one more to the left. So sink back down. Left hand to the left leg, right arm up and over. So you could actually come all the way down to that left forearm, or you can stay up on the hand. All right, come on back to vertical, and then rise back up. Okay, turn your legs so that your feet are parallel, and we're going to fold over. So your hands can come to your hips, and you can bring yourself forward. So you might come to a half fold, which would keep your head and your heart up. So you can bring your fingertips down to blocks or to a stool or a chair. Okay, if it's comfortable and you want to come upside down, you can. And then lower yourself down to your mat, into table pose. Okay, and then come to child's pose. So maybe your knees are wider, walk your seat back, and then bring your upper body down. So support your head on the floor or in your hands. Okay, take a couple of slow breaths. Take your time. So when you're ready, and that is complete for you, you're going to come back up to seated, so you can shift yourself back up. And you can bring your feet to the floor in front of you. Okay, so from here, we're gonna add a twist. So left leg can tuck under the right leg. So your left heel is coming towards your right hip. So you could have the right foot next to the left shin. You could have the right foot next to the left thigh. Okay, if this isn't comfortable for you, then try taking the left leg out straight and then figuring out whether the right leg's on the inside or on the outside. What you'd like is the sitting bones at the bottom of the pelvis to both be on the floor. Okay, now from wherever you are, you can come on up tall, relax the base of you, so your pelvis is neutral. That left leg is just doing its best to relax if it's bent. If that left leg is out straight, it might have a little bit more sort of activity in it. Okay. And then we're going to turn to the right. So you're going to rotate to the right. So you can hug this right leg in with your left arm. Right hand can come down beside you, behind you. And feel that winding in your spine. And then you can choose the direction you're turning your head. So you could turn your head to the right. You could keep it neutral, or you could turn your head to the left. and feel your breath. So slow the breath down. Give it time, give yourself time to exhale all the way. And give yourself time to breathe in as much as you'd like to. Okay, unwind your head, and then your heart, and then your legs. Okay, switch directions. So, feet on the floor, right leg under the left foot next to the shin or over top. So if that left sitting bone isn't down on the floor, that's when you want the left foot on the inside. If the right hip isn't happy, just take the right leg out. Okay, so left foot, if your right leg is out, your left foot's on the inside or it's over top. Okay, and then we're turning towards that bent leg. So rotate towards the left, give that left leg a hug in as best you can. Feel both sitting bones down on the floor. There's a base to your posture and a winding to the spine, and you're choosing the direction that you're turning your head, whether it's left or neutral or to the right. Just nice and easy. And the breath coming and going. Feel like you're wringing the tension out of your back. Okay, unwind your head, and then your heart, and then your legs, and then we're going to come down onto our back next. Okay, so you can just lower yourself down to the floor. Okay, your knees can come in. So there's a movement here that we link to our breath. So with your hands just resting on your knees, so your palms maybe on your kneecaps, you're going to take a breath in and let your thighs move away from you so your arms are straight. And then as you exhale, move the thighs in, so hug the legs in. Inhale the legs away. And exhale the legs in. So your elbows bend when the knees come in. And then as you inhale, the arms straighten out. Just take your time. Another 2 rounds. Relax your breath, one at a time, each foot to the floor. Okay, so from here you can come into whatever position you're going to be comfortable relaxing in. So if you want to keep your feet on the ground, if that helps your back, then maybe you're putting your knees together. Maybe you're tucking a pillow or a cushion underneath your knees. Maybe you're putting a towel or a small pillow underneath your head. Okay, so whatever you need to be comfortable on the floor. Okay, you can close your eyes. Okay, you can let the ground support you. So you're letting your body go into the support of the ground. You can let the tension and the effort go from your body. So it just sort of dissipates, letting go. And just sort of as your body settles here, we're going to come to a breath. So let your awareness rest on your breath and come back to the 4 parts of your breath. So you're following your breath, you're noticing the inhale and the pause, and the exhale and the pause. Remember, those pauses aren't moments of tension and gripping, they are moments of stillness, so you can relax into the pause. So add a count to your breath. So let your inhale be 4 counts long. So you're inhaling for 4, pause for 2, exhale for 4, and then pause for 2. So 4 counts in, rest for 2, 4, delicious counts out, and that moment of stillness for 2. Okay, if that feels a bit long, if it's too many counts, you can reduce it, right? Maybe you do 3 in and out. But feel that there's a difference to the inhale and the pause, and the exhale and the pause. There's a shape to this. And it's kind of a way to slow the breath down and to allow those pauses to be gentle, but there. Let go of all of your breath on each exhale. Don't hold any back. Okay, can you do one more round? You feel how it feels to sit full of breath. And then we let all of that breath out, and we feel how it feels for a moment to sit empty of breath. How that gives us the space to then take another breath in. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to let that go. You're just going to let your breath be your breath. You're going to let your body rest. So you can soften your head. You can relax your forehead and your eyes and your jaw. Okay, you can let the shoulders go, and the arms all the way down to the hands. Okay, you can soften through the chest and the basket of your ribs, the heart, the lungs. And let go through the belly, the lower back, and all the abdominal organs get to rest. Okay, let go through the pelvis, so any tension that you're holding through the pelvis, anything you're holding onto, tension, effort, gripping. Okay, the hips, the legs, let them rest into the floor, the feet. So the whole body. Body's resting on the ground. The breath is just moving in and out, however it needs to here. Doesn't need to be doing much. And you're just enjoying the pause. You're enjoying the stillness. a deep breath in and let go. Okay, relax your breath. You're welcome to stay right where you are if you like. If you are wanting to come back to vertical and move your body in a way that it would like to be moved or stretched or rocked. And eventually you can make your way over onto your side. And you can come back up, but taking your time, making your way into the rest of your day. And just like you felt the pauses in your breath, you can take pauses through your day as well. So thank you for coming to practice today. Have a lovely rest of your day, everyone.